Okay, I'm thinking about my latest installment of where
vaccine was not well preserved as
I was totally out of the biofeedback induced innertension, and then I was talking to actually this therapist, and I brought up like, oh, how about maybe ketamine sometime, but right now I'm all good, and uh, and then I started talking about like my thoughts on how doing the ketamine I might be able to distract myself out of it when I get out of it. And then I'm like, I shouldn't even be thinking about this. And then as soon as I said that, like, I shouldn't even be talking about this, I started thinking about it. And then with the thinking about it, I started feeling it. And then with the feeling of it and the thinking of it and the fearing of it, I ruminated back into it. And then I was in the state of trying to not do it. And that is something that, for one thing, I have to resolve as to why that happened so that it doesn't happen next time. For one thing, never say, oh, I shouldn't even be talking or thinking about this. Never think that. You got to be able to maybe talk about it or think about it without fearing that you will start doing it, because it is really, number one, really the fearing of it that really sandblasts it into you, you know, where you really start getting ruminating on it. The fear of the thinking of it. More so, more so than even like the fear of it. But anyways, that's what can suck it in and drive it in, and then be in that state of, how do I stop this feeling? You're almost like holding it so that it doesn't get worse style thing. And so for that, I would just say, go ahead, talk about it, and don't fear that you're gonna get stuck in it. As far as if you talk about it. And then for the most part, yeah, don't talk about it or don't think about it to ensure that too. But if it ever comes around, um, me going into this like fearing of the thought about it, um, that's what really kicked it off. And then I got stuck in it for the rest of the day, and now it's the next day, and I still am not fully at what I was before. And so now let's talk about, so now you're stuck in it, say, how do we get out of it? What is the best method? Now, I think the first step is the selfishness technique, okay? So, I call it, okay, the selfishness technique, in which it's not that I'm being selfish, I am being selfish on one focus, and that is for me to focus on my own personal pleasure being the number one most important thing. Okay? So I'm selfishly concerned about me, my pleasure, my happiness, me. Okay? Which is kind of a misnomer, because when you get stuck in it, it is kind of like a glorified self-consciousness too, but it's kind of a glorified self-consciousness in the me, not feel good. But instead, we have to go, me, let's get feeling good, me. Okay? Get that focus more within you. Because what happens is, when I get into the inner isometric tension, I go from somatic feelings that are connected to my thoughts, having a gut feeling at all times. My thoughts are deep, fast, and all that stuff. And a lot of my main thinking is really actually, it kind of goes into trying to make jokes being absurd, feeling the jokes. And also the reason why the jokes land and are funny when I am all good is because my thoughts and emotions are connected to each. I'm like, I'm able to move with my emotions and move with the absurdity of the thinking. It's more that I'm acting funny too as I say it or something, right? Not so much the words themselves, the absurd words, because I'll be like, well, I said, like, here's an example of what I was doing, where I was thinking about how the Hindus, a lot of Indians, everywhere nowadays. And I was talking about worshiping the cow, you worshiping the cow. And I'm like talking to somebody, like how, what you should worship is the dolphin or the orca, because the orca is a dolphin. It's just a big dolphin, because they are the most powerful creatures of the sea. They're called killer whales. Dolphins too, though, are also just as powerful. But at the same time, they're also the most friendly to the humans, and they are the absolute number one king of the sea. And they're called the killer whale because they were actually named whale killer, because they're like the only thing that can actually kill whales is the orca. So yeah, and absolutely. And they're also very smart. They have huge brains. They probably scientifically are like, the dolphin, not probably, they scientifically have been proven to be smarter than humans. Just because humans, our concentration is on speech and building things with our hands and using our, because we have more ability to make more complex words and we can write stuff down. Yes, it seems like we are by far smarter than them. And, but if you could put a dolphin brain in a human body, it would be an absolute, the smartest genius in the world. Their brains are huge, they have more capacities for a lot more things, And as far as a memory, I think their memory they're all photographic memories, those dolphins or something. That's the whole point is that, why am I saying, but the whole point of that is that I was being a joker about it. Oh boy, that was a pretty long run on joke there. But anyways, so here we go. My whole point is that, yeah, my so when you're out of the tension and your thinking and feeling is flowing with each other again, and you feel solid and you're grounded in the first person, you're more in the right here, right now, present moment. Yes, I will have a just kind of like automatic feeling of confidence, automatic. And also you want to get rid of your worries too, because when you get sucked in that tension, immediately you become all worried and scared about everything. Immediately you go into this, I'm just trying to be a nice boy, and your emotions aren't there and the thoughts are real shallow, and you're like, and your voice gets higher, maybe not get high, but my voice is a bit higher, and I'm just like, and then like say, for example, say I'm playing the pickleball. Even if I don't even touch the ball, I'll say, oh, my fault, my bad, oh, my fault, my bad. Constantly blaming myself for everything, going, oh, darn, and I'm playing while stuck in tension at the same time. And yes, I'm not playing that good, but it's like I'm not playing like so bad where really everything is so my fault. You know what I mean? And it perpetually keeps me stuck in this state. It obviously doesn't help. And then if I'm feeling relaxed, I'm all good. You know what I mean? Explain the whole thing again of being grounded and all that stuff. When I'm playing, then I'm usually, just for the fun of it, I'll in between points or something, I'll make jokes and stuff, and with my emotions too. So then it catches up. It's funnier. Um, uh, but uh, but also when I miss a shot or whatever, it's like I don't start blaming, going, "Oh, my bad, it's my fault," or anything like that. Sometimes I will, but I'll catch myself. Okay, don't go too hardcore on this. And but yeah, but no, I'm thinking more like, oh god, my partner sucks. And it usually actually is their fault because I'm able to play really good if I'm not focused on the rumination of the tension-y thing. But yeah, I just whoop ass, and I'm thinking about, and I'm thinking about what I'm gonna do, how I'm gonna hit it. I want to do a shot hard over the net, drive in and slam it. Um, and I'm in control of my body, and it's just, you know, just all automatic, right? Um, so yeah. But my point is like, what is the magic? The magic get out of the tension when you get into it. First of all, yeah, because as soon as I get in that tension, as soon as I do, I become super wimp boy, and then all the confidence, everything turns the opposite. I go from super confident to not confident. Oh, wimp boy, like, don't hurt me. Okay. I go from super smart, deep thinking to just super shallow thinking. It's just all just ruminating on the tension and not and trying to get out of it and all that stuff. So my thoughts are not able to focus on everything else because instead they get focused on that feeling of the crap feeling, right? So it's total, So it goes off. So here I am, just thinking about everything, blah 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 blah, nothing, and then bam, all those thoughts get all ruminated in the feeling of the tension. And then I'm like a zombie. I'm just halfway there, talking real slow because my pretty much my main concentration is on that and trying to like and just holding in that tension as I frickin' try to do everything else. It's just such a nightmare. And then I'm just thinking, as soon as I get out of it, I'm not gonna get stuck in this rumination thing again. But meanwhile, I just keep doing the same thing. I don't really lock down into what I need to do to change, because one of the problems is because my thoughts are so much slower. It's harder for me to just recognize, okay, whatever the fuck you're doing that is keeping you stuck in it is not it's that is what's keeping you stuck in it. You're trying to not do it or whatever type of thing is what's actually perpetually keeping you stuck in it. So you're not doing the right method to get out of it. So you have to wake up to that, but that's harder to do because the thoughts get so slowed down inside of that hell feeling that you're doing. So yeah, you got to wake up to that. And then also, you got to so now immediately, just automatically, when you get stuck, when you start ruminating into it, the confidence goes away. Obviously your thinking goes away. It just kind of just dwells in that. And you get worried about everything, get the strong feeling of worry in you and scared, just strong feeling of fear, like I'm scared, and just feeling nothing but crap. The whole body gets sucked into this tension feeling, as well as, where I really produced it initially, not knowing what I was doing with up in the head thing. And then what you need, and the difference in which when you're all good, you have like this gut feeling, that goes from here to here. It feels like it's, like a Tai Chi ball of light almost just outside of you. And these are things that no one's noticing, but they're always having. And that is like connected with all their thoughts. And they're just thinking about whatever it is. They're just everything but what takes all of that away. Right? So we know what happens, that you go from what you are to, the differences, right? So that confidence that gets torn away as soon as you get in the rumination, you have to get that confidence back. Okay? That those worries that immediately pop in, all this fear stuff, you gotta say, no, check off the worries. I'm not worried about anything. Check them off, especially when when I'm able to be back into my self, where I need a word for what, rather than I have to explain every time. Myself, that were my innate, just call it my innate self, okay, my natural born self, and that is the one where my feelings are connected to my thinking, my emotion, my somatic feelings are connected to my thinking, and I'm able to think fast and function and control my body and stay relaxed, all within all of that. I'm able to stay in the grind of life and just keep thinking, and I'm able to be funny all the time, and just because it feels good to be funny. I am a little bit more focused on my own feelings of goodness, and that's why it's enlightened. Enlightened selfishness is a little bit of a different thing, but you have to feel good within yourself first, and then, while feeling good within your own self, you'll just automatically be doing enlightened selfishness, of which is helping others, making others feel good. Goodness is all about just trying to make others have their own personal pleasure within themselves. And you going for that, that's like the root of what goodness is. And so, in order for you to even initiate the goodness cycle, you have to personally go like, whoa, I need to get into my own personal pleasure feelings. I need to get myself as happy as possible first. I need to get into that state of mind, and then the helping others to also feel good. It's automatic. You don't even care. You're not even trying for it. You just end up doing all that for the fun of it, because that continues your own pleasure. The goodness part becomes automatic. Okay? It's not even something, and we're not going to think in a way where, okay, because you also, when you get stuck in the ruminating tension, you also get overly concerned about, just in your super shallow thinking mind, you also get overly concerned about the goodness stuff, and about, even though you're not able to help anyone or all that stuff, but yet at the same time, it's like you're letting other people walk over you, you're being a wimp boy and everything, and you're all scared, and you're just like, I'm just trying to be nice, I'm just trying to be like a servant to you, and meanwhile, you're not able to help anyone else. And it's bad for everyone because they're seeing that you're not happy, you're not saying jokes. It's not fun for others. And meanwhile, so what the fuck is this shit good for? It's good for nothing. It's horrible. And it's that mind frame of, instead of me focusing on me feeling good and being happy and being just feeling good within my own personal self, focusing selfishly on myself feeling good. Okay? If I don't do that, it's like, I can't help others. And then in that ruminating tension thing, I get into the state of mind where that transition from me feeling bad and being like, oh, I'm just trying not to hurt anybody, right? This real slow thinking combined with being in this tensiony thing, just the thought of how, okay, I need to transition to the opposite of this. It almost feels like that's like not morally good or something, even though it absolutely is morally good, because once you kick yourself out of that state of mind and get into more of a concern of your own well-being, then, like I keep saying, then you're able to help everyone and make everyone else feel good. But why, when you get stuck in it, would you even have that slight bit of thought of, me becoming selfishly feeling good? In my brain, I'm focused. It's just me focused on me feeling good. Why am I trying to think like that's not a morally good? Like, why is that transition like going like, oh my God, I'm almost being bad by focusing on my own self, on focusing on myself being happy? Okay? No. I don't know, but it's like, I don't know exactly why that thought occurs, which makes it a little bit more tricky to like be like, no, you focus on you being good, feeling good. Okay? Transition out of that kind of feeling where you're letting other people walk all over you in a kind of tension sort of state in which you're easily dismissed and look like just kind of like a not powerful person, and then transition and then getting that switch out, and then like, whoa, the fuck was all that? Now I'm focused out of it. I'm able to have my feelings flow with my thinking and all that jazz, and I'm able to even think. I'm able to, when I think about doing work, I'm able to do it and like enjoy the idea of doing it. Everything is all good. I can do anything and everything as long as I don't get stuck in that rumination, which destroys my ability to do anything, and it's good for absolutely nothing, but yet I do get stuck in it. It's like, what the fuck? Oh my God. Like, what is it good for? Nothing. But yet I do it and I get stuck in it. But, okay, so step one. Yeah, that. Okay, I'm going to selfishly focus on me getting all good. It's number one. And then, part of that is the grounding of your own body to get into like really the first person self, because in that tension you're kind of like it's kind of like the shallow thoughts are kind of real third person-y really, and by the first person it's like in the present moment more so, where the feelings are just flowing with the thinking, then all of that at once while grounded in the body and the senses. Like you have you got more of a stronger gut sensation on everything that, yes, you're seeing but not feeling, as well as the grounding of what you're actually touching is a stronger, deeper, more relaxed feeling to it all, as well as just the thoughts, just everything is just more clear. You're more, because that rumination made you totally dissociated. So now you're back associated within your own first person present environment. And then in that more relaxation state, you're just thinking more, you're getting a gut feeling, and then you're and then once a joke pops in and you're starting to feel it and everything, and the jokes start coming, that really allows you to really latch onto all that, and then you can get deeper and deeper out of it. And it helps to, because, getting stuck in the rumination is a serious type of thing. Life is a serious, scary thing. Out of it, it's real easy to not take life seriously at all. It's like, oh God, it's so easy, right? Now life's so easy. I'm not taking it seriously. And all the jokes of being absurd is a part of that aspect of not taking anything real too serious. And when it does get serious, it's like, oh yeah, this is fun. Now I can even focus more so, put my concentration more so, because it's more of a serious thing. And this is also fun, and I like showing off how good I am at whatever it is that is of a more difficult task in which I have to put more of my concentration into it in order to achieve it. You know what I mean? So, but it's so crazy how real this is, and how deeply how deep of a mess a huge amount of my life got in the ways in which I got stuck in it like that. It's just so horrible that it ever happened in the first place, and then it's doubly horrible about how long I got stuck in it, and then triply horrible in that, yes, I have been able to get fully out of it and back to myself, but yet the problem is like when I get into it, getting into it's very easy. I know how to do that very easily. I described it everything. You just but then the getting out of it, it's kind of that relaxing out of it sort of way in which that happens is not as easy as getting sucked into it, to the point where, yes, it's still like a major threat getting stuck in it. Oh shit, am I going to be stuck in this for fucking months, 24/7 again, and that's what I want to be able to conquer. Okay. Anyways, that's enough for now.